What's going on, guys? Gomes here, back again on another MLB The Show 20 new feature video for the franchise game mode. Now, this whole week we've been seeing a bunch of trailers, and then today the developer live stream talking about what is new in franchise, and it's a big one. Tons of new stuff, things we've been asking for years upon years are being added into franchise, and I would have to say this is one of, if not the biggest franchise update we've ever had in MLB The Show. There is just so much to talk about. I gotta say, I'm very happy that they are paying attention to franchise mode. I was worried for a bit last year and the beginning of this year that we would be seeing March to October kind of replace franchise, but that is not the case at all, as you're going to see in this video. As always, make sure to leave a like down below if you guys do enjoy these. Definitely helps me out a ton. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, looking to hit 20,000 by the time MLB The Show 20 rolls around. So if you could help out if you're not subscribed yet, make sure to do so. Got a lot of really good videos coming forward. Do not want you to miss them. And let me know in the comments section what you're most excited for franchise mode in MLB The Show 20. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to be excited about, so let's get right into it. And now I think we're ready for our deep dive into the brand new features of franchise mode. As I mentioned, there are a ton of them, a bunch of new additions to franchise mode, making this the most in-depth in years for the MLB franchise. And let's start off with the brand new Relocation. Now, Relocation does not exactly work like probably a lot of us were thinking in our heads, nor a lot of us probably had hoped for. You won't really get to relocate yourself except for being in a different MLB ballpark, which I will discuss a little bit later. More or less what you're going to be doing is starting a franchise, and at that moment you're going to choose to create a team which is going to re-franchise a pre-existing team. There's no expansion or anything like that, at least not right now in MLB The Show 20. So you're going to change around the colors, the logos, and the uniforms of that team, and you can change what ballpark you play at, but you're not going to be able to do much more than that. You can change your team name and your team audio as you would be able to in Diamond Dynasty, but there won't be really anything signifying other than that and your uniform that you're actually playing in a different state or a different city. This is inherently pretty disappointing. I think a lot of us were hoping that we would see a relocation, something similar to what Madden or NBA 2K has, where you have a map and you can go ahead and choose a different location that you would like to play in, and you would have a different preset, maybe generic ballpark. And I think the minor league generics will be available for that, so at least it's not going to be completely just another MLB park that you're kind of sharing now. But yeah, that's going to be Relocation and franchise mode. A bit of a bummer, but in my opinion, this is a great first step. I've talked a lot about how I think MLB 20 is going to be a great build on and into MLB The Show 21. Once we're on the 9th generation of consoles and we have it on different platforms, I think that's when franchise is going to see some major upgrades. Create a logo is now an available feature for your franchise. Of course, it makes sense. We saw the Relocation, and now you're going to be able to make your own or choose from an already created logo. The same rules apply with a community vault with all the logos. If somebody creates it, and I'm pretty sure this will be connected with Diamond Dynasty, so if somebody has anything in the logo vault, it will be available for both franchise and Diamond Dynasty. So really, the possibilities are endless. The community has some really good artists, so like me, I'm not very good. You don't have to make it yourself. You can just borrow somebody else's design. And as well, this year you will be able to finally utilize the Diamond Dynasty create a uniform aspect, where you can basically generate your own uniforms. It looks like they have different stylings that we did not see in the past, so a little bit more customization, and you can go as pretty normal and uniform or as wild as you want. Anything that you could do in the Diamond Dynasty create a uniform, you're going to be able to do in the franchise create a uniform. For the first time ever in an MLB The Show game, we're going to have full minor league rosters. You can see some actual minor leaguers in here, which is really cool to see. Personally, I think this is going to make franchise and Road to the Show for that matter a whole hell of a lot more fun. These are going to come preset with the rosters. Special thanks for collaborating with Ryden Rosters. You can see a couple different prospects. We have Royce Lewis of the Twins organization, and then of course Tim Tebow with the New York Mets. As far as I know, none to very few of these minor league players are going to actually be face scanned into the game, so they will have a generic face. But that isn't really a big deal because if you downloaded a OSFM or a Ride and Roster in the past, that's what you would have. Also want to note that there is a chance these guys could be in Diamond Dynasty. They do have the rights to them within their minor league contracts, so also a little bonus, make sure to look out for that. A couple more things I want to note. Here you see Stadium Select. Select your home stadium. Current stadium is Tropicana Field. This, in my opinion, and what I'm about to show you, is about to kill all hopes of a creative stadium, at least for MLB The Show 20, which is not entirely shocking, kind of expected that. But in this screenshot right here, you will see that they have the newly branded team. They're the hot dogs, the new uniforms and logo, and you can see on the electronic screens that it has that, but it is still Marlins Park, which I find a bit weird. I'm sure it's hard to get rid of those accenting, but it's gonna be weird. I hope you can at least use the generic minor league stadiums, because otherwise if you have to kind of rebrand your team, but you can't move into your own ballpark, and you can't go anywhere else but an already pre-existing MLB stadium, it's gonna be pretty weird. Another thing I want to point out, franchise custom team. Would you like to create a new custom team or load an existing file? And there's two things I want to note about this. First of all, this is when you are first starting a franchise. As you can see, you're picking your team. So it appears what it's going to be is you cannot change your logo, your accenting, or refranchise yourself when you have already started your franchise. So you can't be a couple years in and decide, you know what, I don't like this White Sox logo. I don't like wearing black and white. That's too plain. I want to wear something else. It doesn't seem like you're going to be able to do that. But something very interesting about this as well, load existing custom team. I wonder if this is going to be something that we can find in a custom team vault, kind of like how we have the player vault, the roster vault, the logo vault, which is also going to be involved with the creation of your team. You don't have to make the logo yourself. You can look for it from the community that somebody else has done. So I think this would be a perfect spot to add a custom team vault, so somebody can go ahead and create their team that they want and other players can use it, so they don't have to go through it all themselves. And the last thing I want to talk about here is the custom leagues that you guys can see. Now, there hasn't been any official confirmation. Is this going to be a Diamond Dynasty thing? Is this possibly something like Online Franchise? It does seem something to resemble the rivalry mode that we used to have in MLB The Show, and I have not played that personally, but from what I've read about it, it pretty much is a way that you and a buddy can play against each other that keeps track of the statistics and who wins how many games. And you can have custom rosters in there, so it's different than just playing with friends. It's kind of like a mini online franchise for just you and an opponent. So I think that could be cool if they added, but I think a lot of us are really hoping it is something very expansive, and that's what they talk about within the stream schedule, where they say it is a customizable, flexible league. I do think if this was Online Franchise, they more than likely probably would call it Online Franchise, so I do want to point that out. But regardless, it should be a cool new way to play, and we are going to hear more about it in a couple weeks once they have another developer live stream. So make sure to stay tuned to the channel, and I will go ahead and update you once that news is revealed. Want to talk a bit about March to October here. They are going to have a separate stream for it, but I want to mention this. March to October is going to have more compelling situations, a new trade hub, overhauled reward structure, dynamic difficulty, and more. As I said, we're going to learn more as time goes on, but what you can take away from this is that some of the basic franchise features are starting to seep into March to October. And that's going to do it for this video. All the new stuff coming into franchise mode for MLB The Show 20. Words cannot express how happy I am that we're finally seeing significant upgrades. This stuff I've been talking about for years upon years, specifically about the custom logo, custom uniforms, that the assets to do such were already in Diamond Dynasty, and they only had to bring it into franchise. I don't know what took so long, but I'm glad that we do see it. Relocation is not everything we probably could have dreamed of. Create a stadium looks like it's not going to be here. Neither does an expansion team, expansion leagues. But I think in coming years, once we get on the next generation of consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the other platforms it's coming to, I think we're going to see a much more developed franchise. But for the time being, I am very happy. The minor league rosters should help out a ton. But for the time being, I am very happy. This is an awesome update. I cannot wait to play franchise mode in MLB The Show 20. Let me know down below in the comment section, what are you most excited for? What do you think the best thing that I added is? And what do you think some other things that they could still be working on for upcoming years? What would you guys like to see? But if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to leave a like down below. I hope you guys have a good day. Like some Saudi. Yeet.
Love is love, and hate is hate. To die is an awesome adventure, and I can hardly wait. Earth is a prison, I need a great escape. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone. You know I'm in my zone. I took a bite of the glory.